everyone, Chivos here, bring you another Hyundai A-League fixture preview for the fixtures of week 15. Now, the first game of the weekend sees Melbourne Victory take on Brisbane Roar. Now, Brisbane Roar currently sit top of the table and they are playing against the reigning champions. Now, Melbourne Victory welcome Howard, Negro and Kitabayan to the first team squad. I can't say it. While Daniel Gajewski is unavailable for the fixture after receiving his 5th yellow card last weekend, which is huge because we already know how many defenders are out for Melbourne Victory. Now, Brisbane Roar welcome Theo, Clut and DeVere to the first team squad, while youngster Jancy has been omitted from the squad. He's really their third choice goalkeeper now that Theo's back. He's been omitted from the squad. So the main talking point of this match is that there are many young prospects out for this fixture for both sides. Obviously, because the Olyroos duty is an international thing for Rio 2016. Now, Brisbane Roar top the table while Melbourne Victory can prove that they can make a comeback, especially after last weekend. Now, I think Melbourne Victory are going to be helped with the home advantage, and Brisbane Roar fired blanks last weekend. They're obviously going to struggle without McLaren and Barello. It's pretty obvious now. So, unfortunately for Brisbane Roar fans, I can see this result ending in a 1-0 win for Melbourne Victory. Now, the second game of the weekend sees Adelaide United take on Central Coast Mariners. Adelaide United dominated Perth last weekend, while Central Coast almost grabbed a win against reigning champions Melbourne Victory. Now, Adelaide United welcome Malik, Duganzic, Tongic, and Margush to the first team squad, while Hall, Elsie, and Kamau are all unavailable for the fixture. So Adelaide United welcoming some faces, but also letting go of some faces for now. Central Coast welcome Sim, Calic, and Berry to the first team squad, while Posclero, Izzo, and O'Donovan are all unavailable for the fixture. So both teams missing quite a few players. But Central Coast put in a performance last week. Will they do it again against Adelaide? I don't know. Are Adelaide going to push further up the table after getting into the top 6? I don't know. And for the fixture, I can't really predict it, especially after both performances last weekend. I can see this result ending in a 1-1 draw. Now, the third game of the weekend, the highlight of the weekend, sees Western Sydney Wanderers take on Sydney FC in the Sydney Derby. Now, Western Sydney Wanderers were defeated last weekend. It ended their 10-game unbeaten streak. On the other hand, Sydney FC are unbeaten in their last 4 fixtures and could go top 2 of the table. They could overtake Western Sydney if they pick up a win and things go their way. Now, Western Sydney Wanderers welcome Sandflab Neville to the first team squad, while Sotirio is the only player unavailable for the fixture. While Sydney FC welcome Calver and Mullen to the first team squad, while Gersbach, Hall, O'Neill, and Brosk are all unavailable for the fixture. Now, the Sydney Derby is always a big derby, and I think there is none other bigger than this at the moment. Both teams are looking at getting the top 2. They want to get better seeds for the later stages in the final series. So, I don't know. I can't call it. Both teams can score. Both teams can defend. So, I am calling this game a 2-2 draw for the big match this weekend. Now, the fourth game of the weekend sees Perth Glory take on Melbourne City. Perth Glory is still struggling with form, while Melbourne City could get into the top 2 with a win over Perth Glory. And of course, they have to hope that Sydney FC don't bag a couple goals. Perth Glory welcome Warren, Golek, Marinkovic, and Thwaite to the first team squad. So huge names there for Perth, while Grant, Knowles, Julbic, and Zadkovic are all unavailable for the fixture. So they welcome some names, but there are also some names out. Melbourne City, on the other hand, they welcome Kuzmanovsky and Aegan to the first team squad, while there are no apparent outs. I'm terrible with names. I've given it a shot. Melbourne City FC will want to take their chance and get in touch with the top 2. They want to win the league. They're a big club for how new they are. I'll put that in quotations, new, Melbourne Heart, so on and so forth. They want to win. And I can probably see them getting up there if they can beat Perth Glory, which they should. I think they have a good chance of finishing, and they could be competitive in the final series. Whereas Perth Glory need to turn around their form before Central Coast catch them, and they drop to the bottom of the table. Now, Perth Glory fans, I was told by them that last weekend's match was terrible, and I can see their frustration. Now, Melbourne City, they're gonna win. I'm telling you now, they're gonna win. They're gonna dominate the play. And it's gonna be a 2-0 win for Melbourne City. And the final game of the weekend sees Newcastle Jets take on Wellington Phoenix. Now, Wellington Phoenix slipped out of the top 6 last weekend thanks to Adelaide United. And Newcastle Jets continue to drop at the foot of the table. I remember at the start of the season we were saying how Newcastle Jets were in third. Yeah, that lasted long, didn't it? Exactly. So, Newcastle Jets welcome Leonardo and Pacific to the first team squad, while Haliti is the only player unavailable for Newcastle. Wellington Phoenix welcome Bonavacia and Rodriguez to the first team squad, while Sarpong and Demario add to a huge list of unavailabilities for the Knicks. Now, don't quote me on this. Wellington Phoenix are without Sarpong. Demario has been admitted. Muscat is unavailable, I believe, suspension. You also have Ben Sigmund's out, Krishna's out. What's his name? There's another player out, I can't remember. But anyway, Wellington Phoenix are done. Alright, their season's over. If they finish top 6, I'd be quite surprised. If any of these injuries are long term, like Krishna's, it's game over. It is game over. So, Newcastle Jets struggling. We have Wellington Phoenix struggling. And both teams are struggling to find goals. Newcastle haven't scored in their last 6 fixtures. Wellington Phoenix without Krishna aren't scoring at all. Unfortunately for the fans of both sides, it's going to be a boring game. In my opinion, this result is going to end in a 0-0 draw. Now, they're my predictions for this weekend's fixtures of the weekend of fixture round 15. Now, let me know in the comment section below if you guys agree or disagree with my predictions. Tell me if I'm right, tell me if I'm wrong. But my name has been Chivos. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe to see more Hyundai A-League content. And I'll catch you guys on another video.